Hey, John is here, and today we're going to talk about ChartDB, visualize your database in second, and specifically on how to take a database or a SQL and create out of it an ERD. Simple as that, let's get started. So, clicking on Start for Free, I already have an account connected, so I'm going to show on my account. So let's start. Clicking on Create a Diagram, and it's taking me to the creation. And I'm clicking on Postgres for this specific example, but we can use all the different databases that ChartDB supported, MySQL, SQL Server, SQLite, MariaDB, Oracle, and others. What I'm going to start with is talking about Postgres specifically. So I'm clicking on Postgres, it's taking me to bring the database. We support two different, in the creation diagram, we support two different ways. One of them is from Smart Query, taking a SQL, running on your database once you connected to it, and getting a JSON to paste over here. The second way is more traditional, and once you have a SQL script of creation, for example, that script, that taking a specific database that have ERP system in it, 100 table, 4 different schemas, HR, finance, inventory, and sales, and 25 tables per each one of the schemas. Taking that, we're able to take a specific, that all the 1,600 rows of SQL that can very hard to understand what's going on and the connections between the different tables and visualize it. And that's why we use ChartDB for. But let's start with the uniqueness of ChartDB. ChartDB is very specific. We created a very smart query fetching all the different objects in the database in one single query. Single SQL that you copy, use your favorite database client, if it's dbeaver, datagrip, Postico, Beekeeper, etc., and run that specific on the database. So let's take and do that. Once I'm taking the database and connecting to it, I'm connecting to old ERP. This is the name of the database. We have the different 4 schemas, and I want to fetch all of it. So I'm running the query, taking the JSON that got out of it, and pasting it. Once I paste it, I'm able to import. Click on import, it's showing me all the different schemas that we have 4 different schemas with 100 tables. All of them already got selected for me, and I'm able to click import for the 100. If I want to be selective and select by prefix or by schema, views, etc., I can filter that out. In that specific example, I want to see all the 100. Clicking on import. Simple as that, in a few seconds, now I'm going to see the ERP, old ERP database, and currently I see the first schema, finance. Let's say I want to see the different schemas. I want to navigate between the finance to the HR. So now we're looking on the HR. I will change the view to be dark mode for a second for some people that prefer. Sometimes it's better on the visibility. And I'm clicking on the connected tables. Once I click on one of the table, I can see all the relationship between the different tables. And that's one of the things that ChartDB is very powerful for. So I clicked on the most connected table that called employee, and I can see that how the employee connected to the department via the manager ID, or to payroll, employee ID have a payroll. A lot of payrolls, as you see in the cardinality between the employees and payroll, that one employee have a lot of payrolls, etc. We can talk a lot about how to look, but see how powerful it could be in very simply way. I can add all the different schemas with 25 tables per each on the same canvas. What happened is they put them on the layout very messily. So very messy. And now what I want to do is to reorganize the diagram. ChartDB is easy to do that by reorder the diagram. Once I'm doing it, it's taking in count like all the different tables with all the connections and organize it in a way that is simple for me to look on it. So let's stop here. There's a lot more to see and the power of ChartDB. I'm going to change again to the light mode. And what I want to do now is to show you how to import the same database via SQL script. So let's click again. Instead of the plus here, create a diagram, I can do file new. It's the same path to have the created database diagram. So I want to click on Postgres. Now I'm going to copy the long script of 1600 and more rows of SQL and just pasting it, ChartDB is automatically changed from Smart Query to SQL script via understand and detect that is a SQL script and not the JSON. It gave me some information about the SQL script for me to know. And now what I want to do is clicking on import. It's going to import for me all the different tables and schemas and going to show me the diagram again. So now I'm going to see again the 4 different schemas very easily. So let's now look on sales. Same way, it's reorganized, it's very nice, simple and smooth, and I can see the different relationship between tables. I can double click or clicking over here and see the specific relationship between the 2 tables that's showing up. I can move the tables around and also organize in a different video. That's the next thing I'm going to do, is to show how to organize it by having areas, user group on the canvas. But let's put that for now. What I show in this video is how to get a SQL script, create out of it an ERD, or specifically by the second way to do that, by getting the Smart Query, running on the database, in seconds getting the ERD. Hope you enjoyed and see you on the next episode. Have a good one.